Good day to you, my fellow pen-loving friends. How are you? All right, good. Me and Bill today have a large pen. So this is a Samai pens, the Bold model, and this is a 3D printed pen, which is a little bit different, a little bit interesting. So yeah, cool, go. So this pen's on loan to me through pen sharing, the online pen sharing website. So if you've seen a pen online and you want to try before you buy, you can hire one for a week or two through pen sharing to get a feel for the material, the size, the weight, the writing experience, and see if that's the right pen for you. Or, also handy, if you've blown the pen budget, and you can get a new pen day buzz without the credit card guilt. The service is loved by everyone who uses it, and there is even an initial 3-month free trial period. So head to pensharing.com to try out your next pen. Email John, who runs pen sharing, with any questions you might have, and he'd be more than happy to answer you. Right, Samai pens, the Bold. This is a big pen, but it's a light pen. So it's made of, it's 3D printed in like a nylon fibre. So you've got a nice textured kind of feel to it. Not sure how to describe it. It's not rough, but it's nice. It's different. Gives a kind of tactile feel to the barrel there. So no clip or anything. Plain finials, top and back, top and bottom, front and back, whatever you like. Screw cap. I'm going to have a job measuring this because there's nothing to. Hang on. All right, so well, I don't need to. It's well under a turn to uncap that. To reveal a chunky black section. So the whole thing, other than the nib, obviously, is 3D printed, and you've got a similar tactile sensation on the section there. So this particular one is fitted with a Bock number 8 titanium nib, and it's a cartridge converter pen. So as I say, whole thing's 3D printed, so materials going on the similar material there. Standard international converter. Is a chunky monkey, but it is light. So if you like girth, but perhaps not massive amounts of heft, this could be the one for you. But it's something different to try. It doesn't really post. You could perch that on there, but you know, I'm going to say it doesn't post. So some measurements of this pen, capped and uncapped. I've said not posted. Excuse the rustling, the guinea pigs are having a fight in the corner. It doesn't post. So capped, uncapped, and the cap by itself. Weights, there's a bit of ink in here, so just give it a little bit of play in there. Barrel is 17.5 up at the widest point and tapering down to 15. So as I say, it is a girthy chap. Section is 14.2 and then just tapering down slightly to 13.6 before a nice flare out before you get to that nib there. Should have said the Bock titanium number 8's come with an Ebonite feed as well. Bit of sheen on that one. Comparison with some other pens. Doesn't even fit in the thing there. So you can squeeze that in a little bit. So it's a girthy pen. So Twisby Eco, Samai the Bold, Diplomat Excellence A2, Wingsung 630, Pelican M1000, and Leonardo Memento Zero Grande. Just for another chunky pen. Some of you may be familiar with the Jinhao 1919 Dadeo, and that is what they look like next to each other. So as you can see, it's a little bit longer than the Jinhao, and just as, if not a bit chunkier actually, certainly around the cap there. So how does it write? Sorry. Refocus that a little bit. So Samai pens. And this one is the bold. They do different size models, so you don't have to have a great big chunky monkey if that's not your bag. But I'll link to their website in the description, everything. Go and have a check out. So it's a Bock titanium. I think it's a medium. Forgot to check. It just says Titan on it. Maybe a broad. I think it's a medium. The ink, I don't know. So I borrowed this and I was quite happy to receive it with the ink that it had in it. But it's a nice magenta-ish. Yeah. It's a nice magenta-ish kind of pinky purple with a green sheen. See if that comes out in a sec. Right. So these titanium nibs from Bock do tend to have a really good flow. With this one being no exception. So good flow, decently wet. Relatively smooth. I do get a little hint of increased feedback, bordering on a scratch from like kind of certain angles. But it keeps up really well. No issues with hard start skips or anything like that. Yeah, just potentially maybe a tiny weeny bit misaligned, but nothing that can be sorted out relatively simply. Reverse. A little bit scratchy. Nothing too tragic, and it will keep going a little bit. So you could get yourself an extra fine out of that for a little bit if you wanted to. Find out what this ink is actually. Sorry. My focus is rubbish today. So yeah, I don't know if you can see. There's a nice green sheen off this, and obviously that's quite evident in the feed. So I'll have to find out what that is, because I like it. Anyway. Yeah, I've got one of these Bock titaniums on my Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. I actually had to get that tuned by Nibmeister because I had issues with that myself. This isn't as bad as the one I got. It's not bad at all. I'm just detecting a little bit of perhaps increased feedback in there. Nothing that can't be sorted out. So yeah, an interesting pen. Actually came across these guys at the London Pen Show of October just gone. Unfortunately, I'd blown my budget for the day already, and then some. But I did pick up and have a little poke around. So I was pleased when John acquired one for pen sharing, so I could give one a go. So yes, interesting material. I'm trying to think of a something to compare it to, but I can't. It's a nice tactile feel to it. Feels quite warm and comfortable in the hand. If you like a bigger chunky pen, it's well worth checking out. That's a comfortable section. You got that little flare out there. They are pronounced, these threads, but obviously not sharp, being made of what they're made of. And I don't really see any reason why you'd have to get your fingers that far back. I mean, if you did, you would feel that perhaps on a resting finger there. Something to be aware of. But, you know, there's plenty of room on that section for your fingers without having to go near those threads. Yeah, so interesting pen. Nice to see something a little bit different from a company that I wasn't aware of before. I might well check out some of their other bits and bobs. I will link to the website down there. I'll link to pen sharing website down there. If you want to check that out, maybe hire this one for yourself and see what it's all about. But yeah, good comfortable pen. If you like the oversized chunky offerings, this is nice, something a bit different, and not that weighty. So if you did like this size, but some pens get a little bit heavy, maybe for longer sessions or something like that, this is a lighter offering, which might suit you quite nicely. As I say, I have found these Bock titaniums. They're lovely when they are properly tuned, but in my personal experience, I have found them a little bit hit and miss. So just something to be aware of. I'm sure that if you ordered one from these guys, they might well have a little tune of it, but I don't know. It's just something to be aware of. They're great. They're absolutely great when they're properly tuned and writing well. It's really nice kind of pencil-like feedback, but just something to be aware of. I have found them a little bit hit and miss. So depending on how proficient you might be at tuning your own nibs, or maybe factor in the price of a little tune by a Nibmeister, just in case. Yeah, no, nice to have something a little bit different, a little bit interesting from a new company. I look forward to seeing what they come up with. Hope you found something interesting in here. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.